Our personal, unique, individual zodiacal makeup gives us clues as to where our own personal power, beauty, and magnetism lies. When we're conscious of these traits, we can use them to our benefit to attract what it is that we want. Hey friend, welcome back. Welcome back. My name's Luna. If you don't know me, I'm a witch here on YouTube. I'm a professional tarot reader and astrologer, and I just kind of share witchy stuff to help other people on their spiritual journeys. So I'm very excited today because I wanted to dive into something kind of specific, and that is what our astrological makeup has to do with our inner beauty and how we can use these natural things that are innate to us based on our astrology to better attract situations we want, to better attract others, to really step into our beauty, and to honestly find our god or goddess energy within us. It's really nice because this is something that it's not like you have to change anything. This is what is naturally you, what is naturally beautiful and magnetic, and just allowing that to flow. Because a lot of times, based on society or whatever, we push down, specific traits about ourselves. When we realize that these traits are actually what makes us magnetic, we can then really fully step into them and use them for our advantage. So we're talking about how to use your zodiac sign to find your natural beauty, basically. So we have a couple of important placements we're gonna look at. If you're familiar with your chart, get it up, or if you remember it, we're gonna be looking at specifically the ascendant, or what's also called the rising sign. That is going to be really important because that's how we kind of are viewed by others. That's how others perceive us. And that's kind of like our physicality, so like our physical appearance. But it's also really good to check out your sun and your moon. So if you know all three, definitely watch each section for that, and watch your friends and stuff too to help them out. If you want to get more in depth, I actually offer readings on my HeyHero. I will link it down below, where we go into so much more. I look at your entire chart. We look at the Venus, the Mars, the midheaven. We look at everything to see so specifically where your beauty is. So if you're wanting a bit more of an advanced look, I'll have that link down below. But this is really baseline to get kind of introduced with your natural beauty and to see your little secrets where it lies. So when differentiating, so like I said, rising or ascendant, this is going to be how we're physically viewed and how we kind of show ourselves to others. Our sun is going to be more of the things we enjoy, more of our general personality. So think more of, if you're looking at your rising and your sun and your moon, think of your rising as this is my physical beauty traits. Think of your sun as these are the things that I do that are really attractive. If you're an Aries sun, maybe it's really hot when you do activities. Maybe you're really sexy at the gym. Maybe you just look really good working out. Things like that. And then your moon is going to be really deep stuff. So really on an emotional level. So we'll get into those bits in each segment. So keep in mind all of your signs and let's jump into it. I wanted to shout out Dossier, who's collaborating with me on this video, and show you some of the scents that I got. If you guys don't know, Dossier is a perfume company, and they reproduce classic high-end perfume brands at the fraction of the price, so they're very, very affordable. And a lot of the scents that they recreate are iconic scents that we already know, and some that I already have, so that was so fun to get these that are so much more affordable, but smell the same. So the scents that I got that I want to show you are Citrus Peony, which is based off of Dior Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, which is one that I have. You get a little card with all the information on it. This perfume, I love it so much. This is honestly such a Libra perfume. It's so floral and beautiful and light. I got Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet a couple years ago, back when I worked at Dillard's, and I love it, but I never used it because it's so expensive. And this one, oh, it smells just like it. It's so good. I love it so much. It literally smells like you're going through a little floral field. It's so light and beautiful. Really such Libra energy. The next one I got was Ambery Vetiver, and this one is by Rito. I don't know how to say that. And this one is actually a unisex smell. It's so good. It's more of this one's a bit more deep and I guess I would say woodsy. It's really nice, and I really like mixing a florally one with a bit of a more masculine tone just to get a lot of nice different energy happening. One thing I love is they have a risk-free system. So within 30 days, if you get the perfume, you don't like it, you can send it back for a full refund, no questions asked. Make sure to use my coupon code whenever you get yours. So if it's your first time, you can mix my coupon with the welcome offer and get 30% off. Love that. They also have a new payment method that lets you earn store credit. So if you just select catch at the end of the checkout, you'll earn a $10 sign-on bonus, and you'll also get rewarded with 10% store credit on every order afterwards. You guys know I've been collaborating with Dossier for the past like 4 months now, and I'm genuinely obsessed with them. I have such a huge collection, and I just know you guys will love it as much as I do. You've gotta try it out. You gotta try it out. So, starting from the top, we've got Aries, okay? So if you're an Aries, what is very sexy and very attractive about Aries is this sense of, it's such a weird energy. It's this childlike innocence mixed with a lot of spice, a lot of like sassiness. They are the people who flirt with like being mean. So they're the like kind of mean flirts, or the people who you wouldn't maybe think they're flirting with you because they're really like making fun of you, or like in like not a horrible way, but like very aggressive, but it's cute. So oftentimes they're really small in stature, or like really silly and goofy, but they have a temper, and that is really like kind of adorable, which Aries, you guys will probably hate to hear that. I'm an Aries too, so I'm with you. Your childlikeness, but also your ability to be intense. And it's cute because you're really pretty and you're adorable and you've got this innocence to you, but you also have that huge, intense passion and anger sometimes, and that can just be like a little bit jarring, but in a very interesting way. So Aries will always keep people on their toes and always keep people like they don't know what to expect all the time, and that's really fascinating. And it's just people find Aries very intense, very exciting, and like they just kind of want to be on for the ride. Because the sign of Aries is ruled by the planet Mars, there's this natural sex appeal to them. Aries are very, very physically attractive. They're very, very in tune with their sexuality, and people find that really like crazy awesome. Like these people are they're sexual beings, and it can be intimidating to some, but for most, it's just really fascinating. Aries are very adventurous, and so some more activities that are very beautiful and sexy for Aries. I feel like using the word sexy more than beautiful because I think that contains Aries energy a bit better. It's physical activities, so working out, rock climbing, swimming, like using your body in a physically active way, okay? So these are situations where people find very attractive. So people might be really just like impressed by your physical strength, or your your dedication and your determination to reach a specific physical goal, or to, you know, do this hike or whatever. Like people find that super, super attractive because you're very goal oriented and you're so like in touch with your body. And just the physicality of that is very alluring. So if you're an Aries rising, there is a natural spark to you, a natural sort of sexy energy. There's a lot of energy and passion, and this sort of like vivacious look about you that people are very attracted to. You can use some glamour magic to kind of spice that up, really work with the colors red and black, pink, all those very fiery and like bold colors. You can even work with some, you know, leathers, lace, really, really bold statement pieces, heels, things like that. But also you're like the most attractive when you're having fun, when you're laughing, telling jokes, dancing, having a good time, and just being so free-spirited and in touch with that sort of childlike nature. Tauruses are ruled by Venus, okay? So they are naturally very beautiful. They have a very natural soft kind of femininity, regardless of gender, to them, because Venus is the planet of love and beauty. They are very, very naturally beautiful. So if you're a Taurus rising, you are just a very attractive person, very classically beautiful, and just people are very taken back by your natural beauty. There's a real beautiful femininity about Taurus folks. You will have a really natural, soft, delicate femininity to you, again, regardless of gender. you will just kind of like flow and have this presence of sort of like an earthy goddess, if that makes sense. Taurus people also have a very beautiful voice. They're connected to the throat, so they generally are either have a really pretty voice, really good singers, or they're very poetic with how they speak. That is something that's super beautiful, super alluring, okay? So if you're a Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, honestly, really connect with your voice. How are you speaking? How could you speak in a way that feels a bit more beautiful to you? Not like what others would find beautiful, but what feels right to you. Taurus, you are so artsy, and like a forest nymph is kind of what I think of. So really lean into that kind of energy, you know, put braids in your hair, wear flowing clothes. Being ruled by Venus, you guys are very into the luxe fabrics, very into the things that just feel good, not necessarily the most expensive. Some Taurus people are into the most expensive things, but not all of them. And the main thing is quality. Like, how does this feel? Is this soft? Is this luxurious? Does this feel nice to me? And so really lean into that with your outfits if you're wanting to lean into your Taurus beauty a bit more. Allow yourself to live a life of pleasure and to embody pleasure. So really just having a sensual time all the time, and this is going to bring in the people who are most aligned for you. And with glamour magic, yeah, just wearing the things that feel good, feel soft, feel gentle. And honestly too, like if you're comfortable going without makeup, having a time to really embrace your natural beauty, very, very good for Tauruses. I know that we all have insecurities, but truly, Taurus folks, you guys are very naturally beautiful. Moving on to Gemini. You guys are so playful and fun. This is something that you should really, really play up with this connecting to your beauty, okay? There is this, similar to Aries, childlike fun to you, but it's a bit more flirty and playful and intellectual than Aries, which is a bit more physical. The wonderful thing about Gemini is they're kind of, I think of like a mix of Aries and Taurus in a way, not fully, but kind of, because they have this way of speaking that really just feels like a party, if that makes sense. So really, kind of like Taurus, get in touch with your voice and how you're communicating. Because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, it has to do with communication and intellect. So we think about how these people are how they're thinking, how they're speaking, and how they're expressing themselves. So you might just be so fun to talk to, and so really value your conversations and really embrace the fact that you are very fun to talk to. You kind of have this sort of natural funniness to you, and you don't even have to try to do that, and that's very attractive. And there's this natural playfulness and natural like life of the party sort of energy. I would say with glamour and how we're presenting ourselves, allow yourself to really fully be seen. Allow yourself to wear some bright colors and to have fun. Really, fun is a big thing that I think you should focus on. That is like your main element of attractiveness. You're just really fun, whether that's to talk to be around. You're just all around kind of a really exciting presence. Be able to get to a point where you can fully express yourself and allow yourself to be heard and to be seen, because that's a huge thing for you, is communication, and that's where people are really, really attracted to you. Next is Cancer. Oh, love Cancers. Cancers, you have a natural beauty to you as well as the Venus-ruled planets, but you are ruled by the moon. So along with this natural beauty and femininity as well, there is this sort of mystery to you. You know a little bit more than we know that you know. Does that make sense? We kind of always know that you're in a different world, and that's really alluring because it's like, where are they? Do you know what I mean? Like, lovingly, what's going on in their mind? What is it like in there? It's so mysterious. And because you're ruled by the moon, you're generally very intuitive, and that is just something, it's very like hush-hush in our society. So like people who are very intuitive are very alluring because it's like, what are the secrets that you know? And Cancers, you are a huge representation of that. So really allow yourself to explore what makes you mysterious. Along with this mystery, the stereotype of Cancer is kind of the maternal energy, and that's a really good thing as well too. So people probably you're probably the kind of person who people just come up to and tell you all their problems and their life stories. You and Virgos are the ones, so if you have two of those in your big three, you probably connect to that like, holy shit, everyone just comes to me and tells me all their problems and all the issues and everything like that. But what makes you very beautiful is this sort of softness about you. Cancer risings generally have very, very big eyes, a very round face, very, very pretty, soft, and kind of innocent looking. Softness and femininity and mystery and innocence. These are all things that are very attractive and very alluring. Then we move on to good old Leo, okay? So Leos are so beautiful for their confidence. And their confidence will trigger some people. Like if you are a Leo and you are healthily confident, let's say, other people might get a little bit triggered by that and be a little off-put by that, but that's not anything you can control, and everybody has things that will trigger other people's shadows and stuff like that, so don't change yourself to fit that. What I will say is that Leos have this absolute presence to them that we all know and love. They are very, very like just magnetic automatically. There's a lot of negative stereotypes around Leos that I don't believe. And I would say the main thing with Leos that is so beautiful is their ability to, I don't know how to say this, but like hold space and to almost like create a world. That sounds crazy, but you know what I'm saying? If you've ever been in the presence of a Leo, you understand what I'm saying. They have this ability to just kind of transform reality in a way, in a very physical sense of like being with them is just being very bright. They are ruled by the sun, so of course they are kind of like the warmth and the radiance. So if you're a Leo rising and you have these Leo features, what's really beautiful about you is this sort of warmth to you. Not like a very physical, like you have tan skin or whatever, but something about your eyes or your smile or your energy just radiates a real warmth that makes people feel really safe, and just like a real confidence within yourself. Again, when we think about the sun, we think, what does that do for us? Obviously, that's like the life force of us on Earth. And to some extent, Leos do provide that sort of energizing, momentum around us. With glamour, allow yourself to be seen, allow yourself to be bold and confident in you, play with some sun-like colors, and truly you're just like the most beautiful when you are balanced and healthily yourself in this good, healthy confidence, not leaning too much to egotistic and not leaning too much to insecure, which is obviously like a hard thing we all have to figure out. But when you're in your balanced confidence to the point where you are helping others find their confidence, that is the most attractive thing. You are very, very warm and energizing, and you help heal others. Next we have Virgo, okay, another one ruled by Mercury. This is different than Gemini in so many ways. I would say Virgo is more similar to Cancer than it is to Gemini. So when we look at Virgo, a lot of times physically what we'll be attracted to is this sort of like very clean look, like, you know, the clean girl aesthetic or whatever. That's kind of what I think of when I think of Virgo risings. People who are very put together, orderly. They maybe have like a businessy vibe to them. They look really good when they're embodying that sort of, to the point energy. Virgos are similar to Cancer in the sense that they will genuinely magnetize the people with mommy issues, and they will magnetize people who are coming to them for healing. People will just automatically come to you and tell you all their problems and want you to fix them. That is something to be aware of, but your put-togetherness is what's so attractive. People see you and they're like, oh my God, this person like has their shit together. They know what they're doing. They're so inspired by you because you seem to be so intelligent, so well-tempered, and so like so well existing in this crazy society, and people just generally find that very, very attractive. A good thing color-wise to lean into if you want to kind of continue this vibe, really sink into this aesthetic, is earth tones. I always think of greens, browns, some darker shades as well. You can do yellow if you want for Mercury. To me, that kind of embodies the Empress from the tarot and has this sort of motherly but very grounded energy, which is really what I think of when I think of Virgos. But I would just say, word of warning, like, don't let people zap your energy. Virgos are givers. They're such givers. So don't let yourself give too much. Please allow yourself to receive and enjoy that receiving. You don't have to try to do any of this, but this is where a lot of that power lies, because you are just so good at communicating and being level-headed. Like, if you've ever heard a Virgo argue, it's like top tier. You always win my side, honestly. Especially if you're a Virgo Mercury. Woo! You can talk. You can win an argument. Next, we have Libra, and Libras are so beautiful, so amazing. They are the other sign that is ruled by Venus. So like Taurus, they're very naturally beautiful. And what makes them different from Taurus has got this very like natural beauty, kind of like earthy, really like in their own body sort of beautiful energy. Whereas Libras have this very, in my opinion, feminine, girly, kind of peppy. I think of like makeup and like stuff like that, but they have a more, I think, bright, bubbly femininity, whereas Taurus is more earthy, grounded, like natural, like I don't have to do much, I just have the sensual voice, whatever energy, whereas Libras are bubbly. I have seen a lot of you just have very delicate feminine facial features, kind of like doe eyes, small nose, very, very just very truly feminine features. Very peppy, very talkative, similar to Geminis, but take a bit of the sassiness off of Geminis. And Libras are literally just so bubbly and fun. They absolutely can be sassy, but that is more so beyond, like behind closed doors. What makes you beautiful, Libra, is your femininity. It's your kind of like gentleness and this effortless beauty, and really like this societal beauty, like very traditional beauty. Libra is an air sign, and so they are very fun to talk to. They are more like, they have fun, silly ideas rather than more of like the real, like deep thought provoking of some of the other air signs, but not to say that your conversations aren't deep or anything. It's just more lighthearted, if that makes sense. So this real innocent girliness to you is so, so attractive, and really allow yourself to lean into that because it's really beautiful. Libras, one thing I would say for you is to really indulge yourself in the senses. So play with the fabrics that you're wearing, play with the way you speak, play with the way you smell, because these senses are all connected to Venus, your ruling planet. So when you're connected with these things, you're able to really just be the most magnetizing that you can be. Those things that make you feel pretty and feminine and, you know, childlike and innocent, and just like have a good time with that energy, because when you are embodying that energy, that is when you are the most attractive. Next, we have Scorpio, one of my favorite signs in the entire zodiac, okay? Scorpios get a bad rep, and it's so unjust, and I'm with you, Scorpios. I'm so mad for you. Scorpios are so intense, and so a lot of people are, you know, like I said, kind of triggered by that. So you shouldn't morph yourself to be more digestible than you are, okay? Because your intensity is who you are sometimes, depending on obviously other parts of your natal chart. So if you don't align with that, then don't push that. But if you are a Scorpio and you feel like, yeah, I am intense, like, yeah, I am a little bit, you know, these things, don't change yourself because other people are weirded out by it, because there are so many people out there who are so into that. What makes Scorpio attractive is this darkness and this mystery to them, okay? So obviously when we have a healthy Scorpio, this is a person who ruled by the eighth house, ruled by Pluto, and also Mars in old astrology. This is somebody who is so connected to the darkest parts of the world. These are people who are like maybe, super comfortable with death and transformation and the occult side of things. So allowing yourself to speak what you feel, which I know is really hard for some Scorpios because a lot of times people tell you not to feel these intense things, but allowing yourself to just like be open about, this mystery. But also the mystery and the sort of like unknown about you is also incredibly alluring. So use that how you want to. Maybe if you're trying to attract a partner and, you guys are very compatible astrologically speaking, that mysteriousness will be very, very attractive. And then maybe once you feel comfortable with them, like letting them into that mysteriousness and letting them get to know you. Because I think that's the thing about Scorpios is we feel like we don't know them. And that can be scary to others, but to other people, it's very, very interesting. And for someone like an Aries, I'm always trying to like discover everything. I want to know, like I want to have these deep conversations. And Scorpios are the people to do that with. They generally have some darker features, like darker hair, or even if they have light eyes, there's a sort of darkness to it. There's a sort of mystery. So we think of those like really, really blue eyes that are like a little scary. These are also people who are very in touch with their sexuality, and that is very attractive as well. So allowing yourself to really like soak in the mystery, soak in the darkness, and own that. And like, I have had some of the most interesting conversations with Scorpios because they are a water sign. A lot of people think they're a fire sign or something else, but they are a water sign, and they are the most intense version of water. Then we have good old Sagittarians. You guys are very fun. You already know this. The attractive thing about Sagittarius people is their ability to have fun. They can always be on the go. They are always adventurous. They will always try something new. And to some people, this is the most attractive thing. So this adventurousness, this funniness to them, they are always looking for something new. They're always exploring new ideas. And this is very attractive, this sense of expansion. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So these people are naturally very lucky and naturally always looking to expand their mind and their worldview. This curiosity is really, really attractive because it shows that you are, you're not stuck in your way. You're very open to new experiences. Those Sagittarians can be sometimes a little bit stuck in their way. More often than not, they're very open to at least exploring new things. People can be very, very attracted to the way that Sagittarians are kind of hard to tie down. Similar to Aries, they are always kind of on the go. They don't really stay somewhere too long. So that can be very enticing to some people who maybe are a bit more grounded. They might want to kind of ground you with them. Or people who are opposite of that might feel like that's really invigorating and makes them kind of get out of their comfort zone. But the main things with Sagittarians that are very attractive are fun, like they're very, very funny. They kind of overshare sometimes, but it's not often uncomfortable. It's usually very, very funny, and they have a sense of really good comedy to them. And their playfulness and their sense of adventure is similar to Aries in that it's very, very attractive to see them be so in touch with their physicality, and so it seems like in tune with themselves that they can be impulsive and make these crazy decisions. And they're just very fun to be around. When working with glamour magic, I always think purples and reds and pinks. Sagittarians, I would say, allow yourself to have fun with your physical appearance as well. This can be taking on a fun hairstyle or hair color, or wearing clothes that are, I think of rave style clothing when I think of Sagittarius people. So play with that, play with your clothes, allow yourself to let your style change and to not feel like you have to get tied down to a specific look or, fit some sort of societal expectation of how you should look. Next, we have Capricorns. I love Capricorns. They're very similar to Scorpios in that they can be very intense. They're intense in not so much a taboo, occult, dark sort of way, but in their physical presence, and we think less of like water, you know, psychic, dark, the clouds, and we think of more earth, like where we're at right now. We think of work. Capricorns are stereotypically known for being hard workers, being very, very, very structured, a little bit hard on themselves, you know, having really strict timelines for themselves and things like that. What is so attractive to Capricorns, I'm going to say this, you guys, Capricorns have daddy energy. They really do. Whether you like it or not, they really do. They have this sort of, similar to Virgo, where it's that put together energy that people are very attracted to. And we think of opposites attract, you know, people want to be put together. They feel like their life's not together, so they're attracted to that. Capricorns have that Virgo energy, but it is in that masculine sort of sense, in that less I'm here to help you heal and more I'm here. I'm doing my thing, a bit detached, and that can be really attractive to some people. I don't need you kind of energy, which sounds a little harsh, a little weird, but it is attractive. You know, these people are very, very independent. You know, whether they are truly deep down, that depends on your moon sign more so. But they give off this air of independence, of they don't really need anybody. They don't really, you know, they're kind of doing their own thing. They're very well independent. Again, that might not be fully true, but that's the kind of energy they give off. That's super attractive, and people are really drawn to that. These people also, they have a bit of a darkness like Scorpio. It's more, I think, of kind of a more like mental, like in the head sort of, than a like true connection to the occult, though they can be very intuitive and stuff. But the Capricorn energy, it's very, it's like, yeah, it's like daddy energy, I think. Capricorns really play, I would say, with some like masculine clothing, regardless of your gender. Play around with some blazers, some like dark colors that will kind of really embrace that sort of you know, stern daddy sort of energy. I also, like, if you're feeling like you're more of a feminine type of person, I also think that like bold cat eyes, one of my Capricorn friends, she has dark hair and she kind of has that like platinum underside, and I think that's really beautiful. I think that's very Capricorn because it's that sort of like bold, kind of like independent energy, if that makes sense. So really let yourself play around with what makes you feel so empowered, independent, bold, and you know, let that really show. Also, Capricorn risings, they speak very it's a silly thing to say, but I think they speak in a very attractive way. They are very to the point. They don't fluff anything. And I'm an Aries Mercury, so I speak very casually. I don't really put a lot of, you know, thoughts into sounding any specific way. But Capricorns, they command the room with their voice. I would say this is also true for Scorpios as well. And that is very attractive. Next we have Aquarius, my Aquarius babes. What makes you beautiful is your uniqueness, more so than everybody else. Everybody else is unique in their own way, but you are unique to this world. Like, Aquarians are like the aliens of the world, of the humankind. And I think that's beautiful and what makes you so magnetic and attractive. So when you really lean in to letting your weirdness show and like letting yourself be exactly who you are and not trying to fit in or be anything that you're not, that is so attractive because there are very few people who like have that energy. There's also a sense, I always think these are like the fun conspiracy theory friends. You guys generally have some crazy shit to say and I love it. I absolutely love it. Aquarians are really, really fun to talk to about crazy ideas, conspiracy theories, philosophy, spirituality. Aquarius risings have this sort of striking uniqueness to them that I don't think I can pinpoint on like a specific sort of like facial structure or anything. It's really just this essence of something different, and it's really alluring. They can be really fun and goofy. They don't often like show a whole lot of emotions. They're very good for helping you through your emotions. So I would say, Aquarians, what makes you beautiful is literally like the way you speak about things, the way you communicate, things that are different than, the societal standards, things that are like conspiracy theories, spirituality, things that cannot be proven. You have a really fun storytelling sense to you that is very, very attractive, and it kind of just like brings us all into the room and we're like, what? It's like you have some sort of esoteric knowledge that nobody else knows about. There's also a bit of darkness to Aquarians that I think Aquarius risings, I always feel like there's a bit of like, it's almost like the burden of knowledge. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know so much that there's a bit of a darkness to them. This intellect, a lot of Aquarius people, they might not be super into the, like conspiracies or spiritualism type of intellect, but they might be more towards the, earthly intellect. They might be very, very smart, very good speakers, very good writers, things like that, because they are an air sign. So for Aquarius people, it's really your intelligence, the things that you know, how you communicate that to us. And you're like an amazing storyteller and very captivating with how you speak. And it's sort of like this person who is just so smart, so intelligent, and it's just like, how do they know all that? For some glamour magic, I would say play with crazy things, like play with your silvers, your blues, things like that, and play with having a unique style. Kind of like I said with, Sagittarius. Allow your style to change and transform, but Aquarius people are the kind of people who start weird trends that would not look good on anybody else, like straight up. I've had a lot of Aquarius friends who do things and I'm just like, I literally, like no one else could do that. Finally, we have my Pisces babies. Hello, Pisces. Pisces, there's so many things that are beautiful about you. I would say the number one thing that is so beautiful is, you're gonna hate this, it is the vulnerability. It is the poeticism. It's the sensuality. It's this deep, deep connection to like the pain in the world, but also the beauty of it. And so Pisces, it's very like, obviously Pisces deal with a lot of mental health issues. We feel things very deeply. I'm a Pisces moon, so I feel it. We feel things very, very deeply, similar to Cancers and Scorpios being water signs. So I think it's very important to definitely do our work and make sure that we are healthy and taking care of ourselves first. But I think the most beautiful thing is this like dreamy romance about us. There's, like I said, a poeticism. There's this constant beauty and softness and vulnerability and it's just like a dreamy, dreamy world. And that's very alluring. It's very beautiful. It's vulnerable, and no other sign besides maybe Cancer can be as vulnerable as Pisces. And that is something that is obviously not going to attract everybody, and you don't want to attract everybody. You want to attract those who are good for you. And that will attract those who are good for you. The people who don't like vulnerability will probably not be attracted to it. And that's okay, because you need somebody who is okay with vulnerability, or at least can ground you with it. Allowing yourself to find how you can express this creative romanticism in healthy ways. So this can be creating art, writing poetry, doing something like maybe YouTube where you can express yourself, but having this sort of creative outlet where you can fully get all these feelings, these emotions and these senses out onto paper or out into the world and express it. Because there's so much depth to Pisces. Pisces, I would say allow yourself to, not push away the softness. It can be really easy to push away emotions and stuff like that, but I think a lot of the beauty comes within feeling the things, and obviously in a healthy way, right? So like getting therapy or whatever it is that we need to make sure that we are of sound mental health, but allowing this sort of, I think of it as like this like gushing of energy and gushing of emotions. That is honestly art and can be so healing to other people. For Pisces, I would just say let yourself be the main character. Let yourself like express all the feelings inside of you. Let yourself be your creative self, because that is where your power lies. That is where your God or goddess energy is in your ability to feel these things and your ability to express this through art and to take a feeling and to make something out of it. Pisces people will often have very, very big, beautiful eyes, or very dreamy, kind of sad eyes to them. I always think with the water signs, like they always have something with the eyes if they're, you know, if it's an ascendant sort of thing or first house thing. You really can tell by the eyes. They're very, very dreamy. That's all. Hopefully that wasn't too long. That's all the signs. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what your big 3 are and what resonated with you. Again, I do offer readings on my HeyHero that dive so much deeper into this topic of where your beauty lies. I will have that link down below. We'll look at all your houses, your entire natal chart, planets, your houses, all the signs. It's incredible. We really find your true innate beauty because there's so much with astrology. As always, there's so much that goes into it. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. Love you all so much. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.